It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family, and welcome to another episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I am your host, as you know, Carol Riddick, and I am so happy to be with you as always. And you know it's true because I tell you all the time, it is my pleasure and my privilege to spend some time with you. And as always, I am sending you love and light. You know I do all the time. As is my alternating co host, Mr. Donavan West. He too sends his love. Those of you who've been hanging with us for quite a while now, you know that I always like to check on your well being. I always want to know that you're good, and I always want you to know that if your light is a little dim right now, that we're wishing you well and we're sending you some extra love in the meantime. We want you to know that you are not alone. Do you hear me? You are never alone. You are not alone. I think we all need to be reminded of that sometimes. I know I do. How about that? So, tonight's episode, it focuses on couples. And y'all know how much I love to talk about love. And especially, I mean, we're in the month that celebrates love. So, how fitting, how fitting. Our guests tonight have been married for 32 years and are still counting. Hello? I think there's something to be said about that in and of itself. I can't even talk. Look at me, look at me. In any event, we are going to talk with them about life, love, and everything in between. Family, help me welcome John and Karen Martin. Hello, family.
Hello.
I want to first say, okay, I want it to be known for our family members who cannot see you, how beautiful you look. Let me tell y'all, they look amazing. I said, oh my goodness, because I was trying to put something on and I'm still underwhelming in comparison.
No, you're not. You
Okay,
look
yes,
amazing.
but you look so beautiful. I want to thank you. Thank you so much for obliging and accommodating. We love we love it when our guests first of all, we love having guests. We love that we can, but we love discussing you. We love sharing your journey, and we're always happy when you're happy to do so. Because I'm gonna tell you, family, I called them and I said, would you?" And they said, "Well, what we gonna talk about?" I said, "Are you kidding? Are you kidding?"
I'm like, we're boring. You don't want to talk to us.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I tell people all the time, I know that everybody has a story. We all recognize that everybody has a story, but I always say that you never know what about another person's story could be just that one morsel, or that spark that lights the flame, that jump starts the whole flame to your life or someone else's. You just never know. So I think it's all, it all works together. It all works together. So family members, for those of you who are just jumping into the room, I'd like to make you aware that you're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. And tonight we are talking with the Martins. So, for our family members who are unaware, because we're going to get to so many things, we have a lot of time to do so. Would you please tell us about yourselves individually and how you came together as a couple, how you met?
Well, first of all, Carol, we want to say thank you for
Yes,
inviting us
yes, thank you.
and
Oh,
congratulations on this show. Yes.
thank you. Thank you. It is a pleasure.
So, oh, you said individually and then how? So how do you want me to go individual, then John individual, and then how we met? I
Take
guess.
the ladies
Ladies first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Born and raised in Philadelphia, in a community called Yorktown. I'm the youngest of six siblings. Um, Grew up in a really a two parent, actually a three parent, because my grandmother was there also. So my mother, father, and grandmother all raising us nine people in a little townhouse home in Yorktown, or you can call it a row home, or what have you. And I had a pretty loving and beautiful childhood in that community. The community itself um, was extended family, and I still am very active in that community. Although I don't live there, my parents' home is still there, my mother is still there. You would think I live there because I'm always there taking care of my mom. um what else should I say? I guess that's about it on the individual. You want me to elaborate
Wait, so,
more?
well, I do have one question. You said there were six of you all together,
Yes.
and where do you fit in that
The
number?
baby. I'm the
You're the.
baby. Mhm.
You know, I knew that.
The
I
spoiled
knew that.
baby.
I knew. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you're the baby of six.
Yes.
I
And
love
all
that.
and all I guess I should elaborate more on not just childhood, but I've always been into fashion. Fashion was my first love. The first time on a runway, I was 12 years old, and I fell in love with it ever since. And then I graduated into the arts. I went to Freedom Theater and studied acting and dance and vocals, but
Mhm.
I was more um, drawn to acting and dance,
Mhm.
more so than
Mhm.
acting. And so, um, I work. I'm getting tongue tied. Can
No,
you? Are you going to be cutting and editing, or is this going straight through? I
no,
want to
this is it. This is it.
Oh
You
shucks!
know what?
Like,
No,
oh
no,
my gosh,
we are,
Karen Waller
we
Martin
are
is here.
here. We are. But listen, I feel the same
I'm
way.
on the other side. I'm always doing I'm doing the interviews, and so this is
I
a
know, but see, this is exactly why. Because I feel the same way oftentimes when being interviewed. I'm used to being on the stage. I'm used to being in front of everybody, and
yeah,
we're used to being that vessel. And when you're on the other side of it, and someone is asking you a specific question, you're
yeah,
thinking, wait, wait a minute, and you're trying to get everything out and say
yes,
everything that you intend. But so I overstand. I do
yes,
overstand that. But let me tell you, here, this is family. This is
yes,
this is love. This is life, but it's home.
yes,
We're talking as we do.
as we
We
do.
are talking. We are talking. But I'm so glad that you mentioned it, about acting and about singing, because I was going to get to that, because I want everyone to know, who you are in totality as an individual, this powerhouse woman that you are. So I am so glad that you mentioned it before I brought it up, because I was going to ask. I was
Yes,
going
thank you, thank you. So I guess that kind of sums up my individuality right now. And we'll go into.
I guess it's my turn,
I guess so.
huh?
Y'all is so cute.
Okay. Well, I am from five children, and I am the runt of the litter also.
Oh.
I don't know about a runt, but
Well, I'm the baby.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Runt of the baby.
Spoiled.
I grew up in North Philly also. Went to I had my colors on for my school, Simon Gratz.
Oh,
Grats. Okay, grats. We love
Yeah.
grats.
Um, I'm also a musician,
Mhm.
play bass. I maybe one of these days we'll get to share the stage together.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
That's nothing but a thing. Let's just make it happen.
I'm still actually playing, performing, um, enjoying life. I'm retired. Actually retired in 2019, July of 2019.
But see, that's a beautiful thing.
So now I can
from regional
from
regional
Suffolk,
rail. Mm-hmm.
regional rail, being a welder. Who would have thought?
I did not know that. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a wonderful thing, though, and a skill that you never lose.
yes, and um, there's not much more. I guess. Well, one of the things is, as far as me being a musician,
Mm-hmm.
well. Besides my father played trumpet, but other than that, there were no other musicians in my family.
Oh, wow.
It's
Really? So
like
none of your siblings?
none of my siblings, they
That,
they don't sing, they don't play a piano, they might listen to the music, but
now see, that is interesting to me. That's so weak. Well, I say that because I'm my mother's only, but I'm the youngest of my father's four, and my sister and I, we're the musicians in of my father. Well, my father was a drummer,
okay.
but we are the musicians. So that's so interesting to me because I always think that there's, out of, well, as you call it, the litter, out of out of the litter.
You have at least one or two, maybe a father or a mother or someone that you're following behind, you know?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
That's
That's
interesting. Yeah. Well, my grandmother wanted all of us to take piano lessons from a neighbor down the street. A different uh, uh, people in the neighborhood, kids in the neighborhood would take these lessons. None of us wanted to take these piano lessons.
nobody.
No. And I regret that I did not take these piano lessons. But I'm drumming it up now. I'm teaching myself. I've been teaching myself to play drums. I'm not ready to perform yet, but
you,
yes,
you
I
said, let me put that out there. I'm not ready
yes.
yet.
Let me put that. I'm not ready yet, but yeah, drums was has always been an interest to me. So I started teaching myself.
I love that. I love that. Well, now it has me thinking because, as I said, my father was the drummer. So my sister and I, we kind of got that from him because he was the one musically inclined. But that's really interesting that you would have been drawn to music.
Hmm.
But okay. So did you play, John? Did you play as a child? Were you?
Well, I did when I was younger. I started out playing the violin
Oh, wow.
very young, and then I went to trumpet. Um, then we moved from the school district, and I had to get the trumpet back.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't play any trumpet anymore. When I moved to North Philly, a friend of mine said he played bass, but I wanted to play guitar. Oh, I want to play guitar. I said, I can't even show you how to play guitar, but I can, show you how to play bass.
Hmm.
Oh, well, all right.
Said that reluctantly. You're like, oh, well,
Yeah,
okay, if that's what I
but
have.
as time went on, I started to enjoy it,
Hmm.
and I got better and better at it.
I love that. So, wait, I'm going to ask Karen, does he serenade you?
Yes, he does. I love him, watching him, hearing him, and he's shedding in the house, and I'm just sitting like amazed, like
Mm. See,
yes,
that's so
yes,
romantic.
it
Okay,
truly is, yes.
I love that.
And
I
he
love that.
sings too. He's being a little modest, and he's a great singer.
Only if you want me to take the paint off the wall.
Yeah,
The
right.
pain.
I said,
He's,
John, you
he's a
should really
comedian.
sing more often in, performing. But he's, the bass is the backup of the performers, as you know. But I said
Hmm.
you need to be up front, playing your bass and singing. But he just
See,
happy
your
playing
wife
his
is
bass.
speaking. She is speaking.
Yes,
Okay, pouring into you, but speaking something here.
absolutely.
So, okay, so how did you two meet?
Well, start. Or you want me to start? You want me to start?
You start.
So, okay, I was in high school, senior year in high
Mhm,
school.
mhm.
And seniors, you want things. I'm the baby of six now, so I didn't always, even though I say I'm spoiled, I got a lot of hand-me-downs also. Don't get that twisted. But I enjoyed getting some of the hand-me-downs, but
Mhm.
I want some of my own things too. So senior year, I said, you know what, I'm going to go find me a job. So I found me a little job at a frozen yogurt. It was a health food restaurant in Center City. Now, mind you, I found the job during a school strike. So when I found the job, they said, "Oh, can you start in the morning?" Oh, sure, I can start in the morning because it was a school strike. I didn't have school. So I was so excited. I got the job. I came running home. Nobody, so excited that this is my first job. Ran home and nobody was home for me to share this news with. No one. So then when my mom came home from work, I was like, "Mom, I got a job. I'm working at Frozen Yogurt. I start tomorrow morning." "What, did you tell them you were in school?" "Yes, I told them I was in school because it sounds like you're going to be working all morning shifts." "Mom, they know that." So fast forward, I started working there, and this guy's coming in. He came in one afternoon for a yogurt, frozen yogurt. He's a health fanatic, by the way. Vegan. That's another part of the episode, I guess. And we noticed each other, and I was like, "Ooh, that is so." Then he left, and then the next day he saw me in the morning. He came in for his wheat pancakes, and again, a health. Who eats wheat pancakes? But anyway, back in 1982, and so I told the girls that I was working with, I was like, "He's gonna be mine," and they're looking at me like, "Yeah, whatever, Karen, whatever." And so, but every time he came in, our eyes kind of connected every time. Like it was something about his eyes that drew me to him. And so I flirted with him. Yes. So I flirted with him. The girls didn't know what I was doing, but I'm going to tell it to the world now. When I gave him his change, mind you, he can tell you that he always waited on me. He knew what he wanted anyway, but he would wait for me to, ask what he wanted, because it was three other girls, and we're all very good friends till this day. Since
Day.
yes, till this day. And so no one knew this, only he knew it. That when I gave him his change, I would squeeze the change in his hand, like sweet, like flirt, and kind of wiggle my fingers into his hand. Now it's I guess part two. You have to tell your part of it.
Well, at the time, I was working at Provident Bank,
Yes,
which was around the corner from where she was working. She was working at Juniper Street, right?
Juniper Street, right. We
Right.
actually thought we were each other's age. Come to find out, he's 5 years my senior, and so he looked young, and I thought he was my age. He thought I was, I carried myself mature, I guess, and he thought I was his age. And yeah, go ahead.
So I was actually working in the mailroom at the Provident Bank at Broad and Chestnut. So, I would go out for lunch or breakfast. I walk around and see what was around. So I happened to run across that little small frozen yogurt plus on Juniper Street.
Little Juniper Street.
You have to be looking for it to find it.
Right. Yes.
You have to be looking
It was
for it to
actually
find it.
attached to a high rise office building. So majority of the customers were from the high rise, and then City Hall were our customers and so forth. Like you had to know about that little hidden spot.
Right. It was definitely hidden. So, I would go there and get my breakfast. In the afternoon, I would run around there and grab a little frozen yogurt, some type of berry.
Yes.
And, the one day she suddenly popped up. That's a new person. So, I would keep coming, and then as she told you, she kind of, when I got my change, squeezed my hand. First time I just guess that was an accident. I don't know. Kept rolling. So, of course, she had to make sure that I noticed it the next time. Okay, all right. So one day, I don't know how I got this daisy. It was a little daisy,
Oh,
and I handed her the daisy. You know.
And the
oh.
girls were like, "What the what?"
Wait a minute. I'm going to have to stop you there because I want to hear all about from where the daisy, what this idea. Okay, when
Of the
you
daisy.
decided to bring the daisy, family. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media. We are talking with the Martins about their love story, and we are going to take a commercial break, but we will be right back.
Word on Jobs. A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
For the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM, and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Oh, I fell asleep.
On WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I want to say hello to our friends on your socials. We know that you are there and we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us in the midnight hour. So we've been talking to our guests, the Martins, John and Karen Martin. And if you missed it, Karen said, yeah, well, this handsome guy was coming in to the shop at which I worked. And I started flirting with him. That's what she said. She said, I would put my hand in his when I would give him his change. He said, first time, I didn't think anything of it. But then I started to say, wait a minute. So now before we went to commercial break, we were talking about this daisy that you found that you gave to Karen. How many times, John, did it take for her to put her hand in yours before you brought her a daisy?
I guess it was after the second time.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. I'm going to ask you to continue. What happened?
I'm not that slow.
You said, I knew what was happening. I knew exactly what was happening.
And mind you, I told you the girls that worked with me had no idea. They just, when I told them, he's mine. He's looking like this man giving her a daisy.
So what happened? What happened when you gave her the daisy?
Well, she accepted it, and we exchanged numbers, and then we talked on the phone for about
till I fell asleep.
Yeah, until she fell asleep on me.
Hours. We talked for hours.
Oh,
and
wow.
At the time, I was riding a motorcycle. And one day I said, well, how about I pick you up from work? She said, oh, okay. I said, well, could you wear pants that day?
Like, asking me to wear pants. Like, because I was always a skirt type of girl. I don't know why, I've always was a skirt person. And he I had pants, but he wanted me to wear pants. I was like, okay. He didn't tell me why, but.
So I pull up.
Lo and behold.
I pull up on my little motorcycle. Across the street, and come out. Okay. Mm-hmm. She didn't refuse to get on it though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, she had already claimed you.
I already claimed.
Okay.
Yes, I already claimed.
Well, not everybody like riding on motorcycles.
That's true.
This is true. This is true. But I think, I think she would have made a special allowance. Even if she didn't want to ride her motorcycle, I think she would have made a special allowance that day at least.
So we got on, took off. I took her home, and the rest is history.
Well, he had to give me instructions. He says, just wrap your arms around my waist and hold tight. Because I don't know if you've ever seen, like, if a man is on the back of another man's bike or what have you, they have their hands on the bars back here. I didn't know. I'd never been on a motorcycle before. So he instructed me to put my hands around his waist. And let me tell you, I haven't loosened up since.
I love it. But wait, so we're missing so much in here. So John said that was it. John said, look, she got on the bike And after she asked for instructions, we've been together ever since, and that's just what it is. So wait, so wait, okay, so you were still you were still in school at that
My
time,
last
right,
year in high
Con?
school, yes.
Okay, so now you've met this man, you've met this guy, rather, you've met this guy. What did mom say?
Mom loved John. Let me just say, okay, so all right, so I met and let's mind you, we dated for 3 months before we got, you know,
Serious, like
yeah.
this was official. This
Exactly right. So we're both dating other people at the same time. Like you're seeing
Mhm,
other, you know how it is. You're seeing other people,
mhm.
what have you. And so my prom date was not John. My prom date, I don't even want to mention his name.
Okay.
But
Oh,
my prom date, unfortunately, was someone else.
okay.
And he was actually like almost unavailable. You know, I'm checking up. Okay, make sure you got your suit. Oh, I'm going to get my boss's Lincoln Town card. Like different things he was
Mhm,
promised the other guy. He wasn't coming through, and he wasn't answering my calls, and you know. And then my
mm,
mom was like, "I think you should take John on your prom." I said, "Mom, but this dude, unnamed, I'm not naming him. He's not giving him much credit. He purchased the tickets already. He purchased my prom ticket." And
mm,
mom's like, "So you have the, you need to take John. You need to take John." I regret that I did not listen to my mother and take John on my prom. But from that point on, it was John. I was done with the prom guy. Actually, graduation came around. No, we still weren't done. John and I was still kind of, you know, I was still dating other guys and seeing
mhm.
other guys, what have you. But John came through the place where I work, frozen yogurt, and it was a guy. You want to tell that story part? How the guy was at the counter, and then you were at the counter, and
You can tell. Go ahead.
so so John comes in, he's eating his yogurt, but normally he just leaves. He
Mhm,
grabs his yogurt, and I guess you go back to work, what have you. But this particular day, he sat in the restaurant waiting at the counter, waiting till it cleared out so he can have a chit chat so we can talk. But meanwhile, the prom guy came in and had his ordered his whatever, and now he's standing at the counter talking to me for a length, you know, a really long time. And at the same time, I'm kind of looking over at John like, ooh, and I'm talking to
mm,
this guy, and John's over there waiting, and I'm talking like, ooh, I was so uneasy. It was so
mhm.
uneasy for me. It was a weird situation. John nodded his head and left. At that point, I knew, yes, this is the man. He didn't cause any ruckus. He didn't come up and try to intervene and have a conversation or, you know, to push
Mhm.
this other guy out of the way. I was like, yeah, this is this my gentle giant. That's who he is. Yes.
I love that. Okay, John, I really want to hear your take on what happened that day. I want to hear what you were processing and what was going through your mind and
Mhm.
how you decided to process that moment or why you decided to process that moment the way you did.
Well, as she said, we were both still associating with other people.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
And at that time, I noticed that, he was showing a lot of attention to her.
Mm.
So, I said, okay. So, not to, start any problems because I could have started a problem.
Mhm. Mhm.
That just would have made things worse or bad. I said, okay. I let her know. I acknowledge her that I was
Mhm.
that I
You
would
gave her
see
the
her later.
nod.
That's all.
Just the nod. Yes. It
That
was like
nod
a
said
nod,
so
like
much.
I understand, but we still cool kind of nod. Yes,
It said so much. That nod was an entire conversation.
it truly was.
But it was a first of all, what my takeaway is from that entire experience is that you both had identified each other's love language early because he knew exactly how to communicate to you what he was feeling and what he was saying. You understood
Hmm.
perfectly. And you said in that moment, you said, that, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
You had already identified that he was the one, but you said, no, that was confirmation right there that he was it. That was
Yes,
it.
yes.
That always amazes me when I'm talking with couples. Like the moment they know, like how the moment they say, okay, that this is it for me. I John, was that the moment you knew too?
Um, I wouldn't say at that moment
Mm-hmm.
because of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The situation was her talking to someone else at the time,
Right. I
and
know. Oh, I'm sorry.
so I had to, I guess, process things. You know,
Sure. Sure.
and
I
I
know
evaluated
sometimes people, I
what was
keep
happening at that.
interrupting you, and I'm so sorry.
It's
Go
okay.
right ahead, John. You talk, John.
Evaluated what was happening at that time, and I understood that we knew other people. We talked to
Mm-hmm.
other people prior to meeting each other. But as time goes on, you're gonna have to cut them people, cut them off.
Mm-hmm. 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 I've heard some people say, as a result of a similar experience, like that, if they that was the moment that they knew when they saw someone else, you know, um, garnering for the attention of the same person. Some people say, I knew right then and there that I didn't want anybody else to have his or her attention. So that's why I was asking you if that was the moment that you knew. What was the moment that you knew? When was your moment?
Well, we spent a lot of time together
Mm-hmm.
after that moment. Talked a lot on the phone. I did a lot of riding on the motorcycle. We just saw each other more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So time, time,
Well, I mean, they do say, listen, I've heard repeatedly it's about time and it's about communication.
right? Absolutely. And it was
People say,
quality time.
ah, okay, see, then now that's the other part of it. You're absolutely right. Quality time and communication.
Yeah.
So it seems to me, because I'm chuckling because Karen said when this guy came in, and I keep going back to that because she immediately knew. She told all the other girls, mm-mm. Okay, when this one comes in here, mm-mm. And I'm sure they knew exactly what that meant too when you said no. No. So I think it's so cute to me that you identify, but you were waiting for him. You were waiting for him to come around. You were waiting for him to catch up to where you were. But I think that's so cute in and of itself because even though you said you flirted with him, it was subtle.
It was subtle. No one
But
knew but him.
nobody knew but
It was
him. And
subtle but loud.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was loud enough because he said, I ain't slow. He said, I know. He said, oh, I knew what was happening. I knew what was happening. So now, how long did you said? How long did you date before you said, okay, this is it? How long?
8 years.
Before marriage, you mean?
Well, both actually, because I know you alluded, Karen, a moment ago about dating before you said you were serious. So that
Oh,
was a few months, right?
that
That
was
was a few
several
months.
months. That was July. Matter of fact, July 5th ish.
Right.
Maybe July 5th. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Before we got intimate, like
Mm-hmm,
really intimate. So
mm-hmm,
we met in
mm-hmm,
April. We
mm-hmm.
went through that whole prom fiasco, went through the graduation situation, and then by July 5th.
So by July 5th, you said, okay, she's going to
I'm
be.
gonna give him some.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You said, okay, all right. You graduated from yogurt to candy. You
Yes.
graduated.
Cookie.
I love it. I
Some of
love
that cookie.
Oh my goodness, family. If you have just tuned in, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I should let you know, though, and I don't even think I reminded you guys that you can email us, You can email us if you have a comment, question, a suggestion for a topic, or even if you just want to say hello, because we like that too. We like that. We like all of that love. But we're talking with the Martins, John and Karen Martin, and they're telling us about their love story. And as I've said before, we're talking about love, life, and everything in between. But we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. So stay with us.
What's up, y'all? It's Janae Latrice
and Kayla J. Be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. for
Crosswords, sharing conversations across generations, right here on WURD.
Progressive Black Talk Media.
We'll see you there.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Hey, still shopping for the new year? Or did you receive a gift card for the holidays? Either way, Word Radio's got you covered. Visit wordradio.com and shop at the Word Virtual Marketplace. You can support local, small, Black-owned businesses through the marketplace and shop today. Visit wordradio.com/marketplace or wordworks.com/marketplace. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Well, hello there and welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. And we are talking with none other than John and Karen Martin. We are celebrating love, life, and coupledom. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing tonight. And they've been telling us about their love story. And if you just tuned in, what you missed thus far is that Karen identified him. Okay. As soon as he came into the yogurt shop at which she worked, she said, yeah, that one right there. She told all of her coworkers, that one right there is mine. That's what she said. And then, this one particular day, he said, I think this girl kind of likes me because she put her hand in mine. He said, yeah, she does like me. So he brought her a daisy. And it took off from there. He said, so we exchanged numbers. She got on his motorcycle, y'all. I love it. Here's the question that I have. She got on the motorcycle. We are fast forward. We are a couple now. We're good. Everything is good now. Do you guys still ride on your motorcycle? Do you still have a motorcycle? First of all, do you still have a motorcycle?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
Okay, because the question was coming. Do we still take rides? So one question I'd like to ask all couples: do you guys have date night?
Absolutely.
You do.
We need date nights. Yes.
Really?
32 years, 40 years together. We're 32 years married and 40 years together. So we dated for 8 years. So we got the dating down pat. We know how to date.
I love it. So would you say you never stopped dating? Would you say
never stopped dating?
I'm finding that is one key ingredient to a long lasting relationship. From just from having talked with just a few couples, I'm learning that those of you that have been together for a duration, like a good long time, you all say, "Oh yeah, we definitely date. We still date."
Yes.
I love that. So when you're talking about your dates, do you plan each week, or do you have like how does that work for you? What does that look like for you? Your date?
It's not necessarily planned all the time.
Okay.
Sometimes it has to be spontaneous. Sometimes it's planned. We may light up the fireplace and lay out the rug on the floor.
The blankets, pillows and blankets
on the floor. Sit by the fireplace and maybe get a little bit of bubbly. Even though neither one of us really drink.
We don't drink. That's the only time we drink is if we're having a date night.
A sip of bubbly have us giggling.
Yes.
Wait, I love that. Both of you said, look, we don't really drink, but the only time we might indulge, and that's not even that much, we might have a sip. I love that because that's your thing. Everybody has their thing. But when I'm learning so much about love languages, And I love that I am because, as human beings, we're complex. We're complex individuals, but when there's a couple such as yourself that has, that are able to communicate with one another, you communicate your love, you communicate that, hey, I like you. I like you. And that's most important. I'm understanding too, that
Yes.
you like each other.
Yes.
What happens on those days when you're not feeling so favorable with one another? How do you guys handle that? How do you navigate those days?
We sense it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we either it can happen depending on what we sense. It can either be consoling, like, oh babe, it's going to be all right, and we'll talk about it, whatever the situation it could be. Or we may stay away from each other, just like separate into one go in one room and one go in the other, and we do our own thing. So it really depends on what the situation is, how we adjust to it. I know one of my sisters asked, she says, do you two ever argue? I said, yeah, do you ever argue or fuss about? Yes, we do, but why is it's none of your business. We don't bring it to the family. We don't bring it to the street. We handle our situation in-house.
Right.
So to her, it doesn't look like we ever have, arguments or debates, but we do.
Yeah, we also try not to go to sleep that way.
Absolutely. That's always been a promise. Never go to sleep upset with each other, right? So we always make up before the day is done, whatever the situation is.
I love that. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm taking notes from everybody's blueprint.
Who wants to sleep back to back? You don't want to go to sleep.
No, nobody like that. Nobody.
No, I want that motorcycle position.
That's what we call that. That motorcycle love. That's motorcycle love. I love it though because it jump started everything. And I'm getting the feeling though that at that time your motorcycle was your prized possession. I'm getting that feeling.
One of them.
Well, it's actually my form of transportation.
Right.
Okay, it was just okay. Yeah. I misunderstood that because I thought you were saying, look, this is my prized possession and I'm sharing this with you. So I misunderstood that one, but I understand, that being transportation. But that was a good thing though too. You guys worked in Center City. You were in close proximity, meeting at work. So now, I always wondered this. Both of you, you said you come from you were one of 6 and you were one of 5.
Yeah.
Coming together. What's that dynamic like when it's just the two of you? You don't have, the outside influences of your siblings. And I know it may sound like a crazy question, but for me being an only child, I'm my mother's only child, and I'm still unmarried. So I've always wondered, I have been married, so I get that too, but coming from larger families, having all these siblings, and you're used to being in a household with siblings. You're adults now. I get that, but what does that dynamic look like in your household when it was just the two of you? What did that look like when it was just the two of you?
I loved it. Was peace. It was unique, that alone time. At when you're growing up in a household of 9, there is no alone time. For the most part, there's always someone home, and plus we had dogs and birds, and it was always some sounds going on. It was nice to just be quiet and peaceful. Yes.
Have somewhere to go and just relax. And like you said, nice and peaceful and quiet.
And it sounds like the two of you found peace with each other. So that was all you needed. You didn't need those outside influences. That's what I'm getting from the two of you as well.
And we were both into entertainment at the time. I was playing bass at the time also, and she modeled.
Okay, you know what? See, we didn't even get to the modeling. I'm familiar with your love of fashion. I'm familiar with your career as an actress and as a producer. Family, listen. They're withholding, and I'm going to get it out of them, okay? If you are just tuned in, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM, and we're talking with John and Karen Martin, who are holding back. But because we were about to go to commercial break in our second hour, we're going to get that all out of them, okay? We're going to hear about all of it when we come back. So stay with us, okay? Because we will be right back.
Stand with WURD Radio, Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. Join the movement to keep the conversations going and amplify the voice of the black community. Show your support. Start or renew your WURD membership today at WURDradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player for the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me. But it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old. Yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media. Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family, and welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We are talking with none other than John and Karen Martin, and I think I told y'all in the last hour, if you were with us and you heard me say it, they've been holding out, y'all. They've been holding out, and we're going to get to the bottom of it right now. Okay. Because now I am familiar, but I want our family members to be familiar too with all that you are. Okay. All that you are. So please do fill us in, because we have so many gaps between the yogurt shop and today. So we know that you dated for 8 years before you were married. So during the time that you were dating, is that when you began? Let me let you know, family members, for those of you who missed it, because Cameron was in her last year of high school when they met, but they dated for 8 years, then married. So during those 8 years, is that when you began modeling and acting, and or was it after? Or
No, I was 12 years old when I started modeling and acting before I met John. Also, yeah, I was modeling and acting before that. In fact, a quick story about when I was 16, a neighbor, she had moved away. She went away to college and she moved to Switzerland. She was singing opera and she was making a great career. She older than me, of course. And when she came home to visit, she said to my parents, she says, "Oh, I want to take Karen back to Switzerland with me. She would have a great modeling career and, what have you." My parents said, "Let us think about it." We talked about it. I, of course, wanted to go. And they said, "No, it's not a good idea." So I was 16 at the time. But again, fashion has always been my first love. And the runway. I haven't been on a runway, however, in years. I probably would like to get back to that old head on the runway.
Don't you do it? Don't you do it? Don't you claim it? There's nothing old there. There's nothing
Right. You're right. I always say, because we're 5 years apart, you know how men, when they get older, they what is it called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Midlife crisis. That's what it's called. And men in their midlife crisis, they either buy a motorcycle, a sports car, and they want to, date these younger women. He doesn't need to do that. He already has his young girl. Right?
There you have it. And he's already had the motorcycle, so
exactly right. Yes.
So, okay. So wait, there's just so much, because I get these little morsels every time you guys say something. So you were modeling then. You now acting. When did you begin acting?
I began acting at 17, I guess. 17. I was going to Freedom Theater.
Okay. So now, when did you guys get to the point where you began like starting your own companies and working together? Because I want to make sure our family members are aware too that you guys worked together at some point. So when did you guys decide and say, you know what, maybe we should do some things together? When did that happen?
That was later on.
Yeah, when we had our daughter Star.
Yes.
And in 1990, and so even how old was Star when we? Let me just say, we have been working, acting, playing music, what have you. He was playing music, I was acting. And then we were home, we were asleep, and one night, God sat me up. Literally, we were asleep. I sat up on the edge of the bed, and he gave me this celebrities in the basement idea. I got up, went to the bathroom, and when I say I went instantly back to sleep. So then the next morning, we're having breakfast. John, myself, and our daughter Star was how old? 15, maybe 16, I think. And we're sitting at the breakfast table eating, and I said, I want to start a show, celebrity. I want to interview celebrities in our basement. and air it, on YouTube or air it on Find a TV or what have you, network. And both of them are like, John's like, I'm not a cameraman. I don't know anything. I play music. I don't know anything about nothing about the lighting or anything. And you could tell in our first few episodes that we were, raw with it. But we did it anyway. And we thought, okay, what are we going to name it? So our daughter Star said, well, you're going to be interviewing people in the basement, in our basement. Just call it Celebrities in the Basement. So we actually started with our nephew who was playing for the Minnesota Vikings at the time. Shout out to Franklin Wallace, whoop, whoop. Butchie, and Randy Bolin
was
is
the second.
Randy Bolin was the second. That's his
Randy
brother.
and I were in groups together.
They're tight like these. Randy was second, and a few. Again, I'm actor. He's a musician, so we started pulling our actor friends and our musician friends were amongst the very first people that we would interview. Ryan Anthony Wilson, Denny Live, trying to think.
Gerald Beasley.
So we started pulling from the network that we already had relationships with. And then next thing you know, it's 14 years later, Carol, and we're still doing Celebrities in the Basement. But now we do out and about scenes. We're invited to red carpets and movie premieres, and not just in Philadelphia, but out of state. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Now, see, I was trying to pull teeth. I said, no, I want her to talk about celebrities. I was going to bring it up. But I'm sorry.
I'm used to being behind the camera. I'm not
Right.
used to being up front.
Is that right?
I'm not just like on the stage. I'm used to playing the bass,
And not singing.
holding down the groove.
Right.
But your wife is saying that you need to be in the front.
Yes.
Your wife is telling you, she is saying, and you look, she already, what we're learning, okay, what I'm learning when she speaks, and then she shares the message with you. When you get to where she is, then it comes to fruition.
Yes.
So she has spoken
into existence.
Yes, she
What
has
you
spoken.
think about, you bring about.
Okay, what you think about, you bring about.
What you think about, you bring about.
I want to say, and I want to say, family, for those of you who've just joined us, you're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. And we're talking with John and Karen Martin. And we're talking about their love, we're talking about their life, we're talking about everything in between. And what you may have missed if you just joined us is that John is a bass player. John is a vegan. I want to talk about that too, because I'd like to know when that began with you. John is a vegan. We're talking about Karen, who is, I don't even want to say a lover of fashion, because she is a fashion plate. So Karen is a fashion plate. She always has been from day one since I met her, since I've known her. She's an actress, a producer. And John, I say you're a producer as well, because you guys, having worked together on your own productions, you're a producer as well. But I want to address you being a vegan. I would like to know about that lifestyle for you. And then I want to go back into, you guys working together, because I don't want to forget, because I really am interested in knowing about your vegan lifestyle.
Well, it started, back when I was working at the bank.
So you were very young.
Yeah, I worked at the bank, and I worked part-time at a health food store on Sampson Street. And from that point on, I started researching. And as time went on, I said, well, meat is really not good for us. I guess, in a sense, it could be good for you, but you have to do it very sparingly, in moderation. So I, upon researching and going through the pages of books, I said, well, I think I'm gonna stop eating meat, right? But I didn't do it all at once.
Okay.
No, I didn't cold turkey. I did it gradually. First, I stopped eating chicken because chicken, fried chicken, baked chicken, all kind of chicken. Stop eating chicken. If I can stop eating chicken, that's a big step for us.
Yes, that's a huge step.
Yes. So I stopped eating chicken. Then I stopped. Well, I stopped eating red meat first. Sorry.
I was going to say, because when we met,
I
you were eating
chicken
chicken and turkey.
I
and
stopped
fish.
eating red meat.
Okay.
First.
Right.
I skipped a
Back
step.
up.
Sorry.
That was a big step too.
I skipped the main step.
Yes.
The red meat.
Yes.
Yeah, I stopped eating the red meat first.
Okay.
And then I took the chicken out, maybe 6 months or so later, and then I was just eating turkey. The turkey was catching a bad break with me. Turkey chops.
Yes.
Turkey
burgers.
Turkey bacon.
Yes.
Everything.
Everything turkey.
Yes. Yes.
Some of the guys at work was calling me, "Yo, what's up, turkey?"
Yes, because they were all eating beef.
Oh, they was eating everything.
Yes,
everything.
yes.
Being actually working for SEPTA in the regional rail, riding around in trucks, they knew where every good eating spot in the city and outside of the city was. Like, I didn't know. They knew where every donut shop, every hoagie place. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know this place existed, right? And so they would call me, just get a turkey hoagie or something like that. All right, turkey, would you? All right, okay. So then I cut out the turkey and I was just eating fish.
Wow.
And then I went to the point where I said, well, I'm only going to eat fish when I'm home. So when I'm out, I didn't eat any type of meat at all. So then it got to the point where I said, well, I'm only going to eat fish one day a week, which would be Sunday.
Okay.
And if I'm not home, I won't eat the fish. So being a musician, there were times that I wouldn't be home.
Sure.
So I missed a week. I missed another week. So, then I just stopped from there.
So,
but yeah, go ahead.
No. Go right ahead. You said but.
But the thing about being a vegan, you have to supplement. You have to supplement because you don't get certain minerals, vitamins, like B12 is one, because you get that from the meat, the B12. And of course I do protein, but protein is, you can get protein from other sources other than meat.
Okay.
Because it's made up of, you can get it from green leafy vegetables, beans, rice and beans.
Right. So, Karen, are you too a vegan?
I am not claiming to be a vegan.
Okay.
However, I haven't eaten red meat since 1989.
Wow.
And actually, I was pregnant with our daughter, Star, and we went to a barbecue. It was a Labor Day barbecue. And mind you, I didn't know I was pregnant. Let's get that out there. I didn't know. And I'm eating everything at the barbecue. Ribs, chicken, I'm eating every meat. Not all at once, but you know how you had a barbecue, you have ribs and the salad and some egg, deviled eggs or whatever, collard greens. Then later on, you have a hot dog and a burger. That's on the way home. We were in Quakertown at a friend's house. On the way home, I was like, John, I feel sick. We had to pull over on the side of 309, and I just let it all out. And mind you, I was pregnant but didn't know. And so I was feeling sick. That was morning sickness, but it was also Star, my daughter, saying, no, this is
too much.
Nope. I don't want this. I don't want you. I don't want to develop with this in my system or have you. So I quit. Actually, and John, it's that all that stuff you had, all that beef. You got to get rid of it out of your system. And so I actually quit. Then cold turkey eating red meat. But then I still eat my chicken, my turkey, fish, no shellfish, just I'm real particular about the fish. Salmon is my favorite. And fast forward, we took dairy out. I don't eat any dairy. Fast forward. No dairy. So no eggs, no milk, no ice cream, no cheese is in the house, right? Now, mind you, this is a couple years ago. I've been off of dairy. So Star, our daughter, comes to visit. I guess she stayed for a week or weekend or something, and she's like, well, no milk. I want Sarah. No eggs. I want to make cheese egg. No cheese. No. If you want that, you go get it. You buy it. If that's what you want to eat for the week, then you on your own. That's what she did. She went to the market. She bought ice cream. She bought goat's cheese, or I'm not goat cheese, cheese, regular cheese, cow's cheese, whatever. Cheese, eggs, all that. She brought all these dairy products into the house, and she started making cheese eggs, and it was smelling so good. It was like the devil sent her there that week because she made cheese eggs. I was like, all right, I'll have a little bit of cheese eggs. She made chicken steaks, not beef steaks, but chicken steaks, and then the ice cream. When I say I overdosed on dairy, I was sick for a week with the flu. Dairy causes mucus, and the mucus was stuck right here in my throat for an entire. I overdosed on dairy, and people think you can't overdose on anything but pills or whatever. No, I overdosed on dairy.
You can, especially because your system was clean.
My system was clean, and it's all Star fault. But she's like, no, it's not my fault. You could have been stronger. No, it wasn't. She didn't put a gun to my head. She was right. She's right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, cold turkey. When she left, that dairy left with her. Take all of it with you, or it's going in the trash. And ever since then, no dairy in the house. None. So we do almond milk, veganese, no regular mayonnaise. Veganese is taking the place of mayonnaise. What else we take the place of?
So do you do you oat milk? No, wait,
oat milk. Yeah, oat milk.
Okay.
But
you got the steel.
Still, yep. Okay. That is so interesting.
I'm still a work in progress when it comes to being a vegan, but I'm living almost like a vegan because when I'm preparing meals, I'll prepare a vegan meal, but I'll have chicken with it, or turkey, or a slice of fish, or something like
that. Okay. Yeah, so do you but you, John, you don't miss it at all. You don't miss, well, it's been years now for you.
Well, because when I started, I felt better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Why go back?
You do feel better. You have to listen to your body. And a friend of mine, she's like, oh, I'm so depressed all the time. Like, all that darn beef. All you do is talk about eating beef and pork and chitlins and hog maws. Think about all that you ate during the holiday seasons, and now you're depressed.
Wow.
So you are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
Oh my goodness.
Beans, collard greens, apples and oranges and strawberries and smoothies. John has his smoothie every morning. Yes.
You do. I was just about to ask what a typical meal would be for you. What would a typical meal be? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What would you guys?
Well, most of the time for me, I normally don't eat breakfast.
Okay.
You have a smoothie?
The smoothie is my breakfast. Not like a solid breakfast,
like a waffle or turkey bacon. That's me. A waffle or turkey bacon.
Sometimes I'll have breakfast.
Okay.
I'll cheat and have breakfast, but I normally have a smoothie, and a lot of times I don't eat until dinner.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow.
It seems to sustain me until dinner time.
Oh my. That in and of itself, Okay. Let me tell you how many lessons I'm learning in this whole conversation about diet and about, it's always so interesting to me just to know of everybody's individual diets. It's because it all plays a part, as we know. Like you just said, you are what you eat. Family, if you've just tuned in, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We are talking with John and Karen Martin, and we're talking about everything. Okay, a little bit of everything. Stay with us though, because we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Hello there, and welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We're happy that you're joining us. I want to remind you, though, that you can always email us if you feel so inclined to do so. And you can do so by emailing us at loveandlife@wordradio.com. That is WURD, of course, radio.com. That's loveandlife@wordradio.com. We've been talking with John and Karen Martin, the Martins, if you will. We've been talking with them about love, life, and everything in between. And I want to go back to something that Karen said. She stated that one night she was awakened from her sleep. She said God had spoken with her and had planted a seed and said, okay, this is what needs to happen. This is where I'm leading you. I want to hear all about that moment and the moments that followed when you both awoke and you shared with John what happened. What happened in that? Tell us about that.
So, as I was saying briefly before, we were asleep, and all of a sudden, God woke me up. I mean, you know how you just get up, gradually get up, you're groggy. No, I wasn't groggy. I was clear. I woke up. He sat me up on the bed and said, "You're going to interview celebrities in your basement." I got up, went to the bathroom, laid back down, and instantly went back to sleep. Instantly. So when I got up that next morning, I communicated at the breakfast table. John, myself, and our daughter Star were eating breakfast, and I said, something came to me in the middle of the night. I want to interview celebrities in our basement. And they both looked at me like, what? John's like, I don't know. We don't know anything about cameras or lighting or anything. And again, you will be able to see in our very first episode that the lightings were off and sound was off or what have you. And so we talked about, starting this interview process. And I said, so what are we going to name it? So our daughter Star says, well, you're going to be interviewing people in our basement. Just call it You're going to be interviewing celebrities in our basement. So call it Celebrities in the Basement. Hence, that's what we did. We started again with our nephew who was a running back for the Minnesota Vikings, Franklin Butchie Wallace, and by me having the actor's background, John having the musician background, we started pulling our actor and musician friends, and the rest is really history. The next thing you know, people were calling us, asking us, can you, like different management or even artists themselves, oh, can I be on your show? Can I be on your show? Sure. I mean, we not just do, artists like musicians and vocalists and actors. We do politics, sports, anyone that's in the public's eye, we try to shine the light on them. And mainly people that has never ever been interviewed before. A lot of people, and I go back to Kevin Savage, he always talks about how we were his very actor, Kevin Savage, how we were his very first interview, and he appreciates us bringing him to our platform, having him, show his acting skills as well as his vocal skills. And Kevin Savage is doing big things to this day. So I appreciate him acknowledging us, whenever he gets the platform to do so. Yeah.
See, I love it. Well, first of all, I love that you're deeply rooted in faith and that you listened. That when you got the word, when the message came to you, that you said, "Okay, okay." And I also appreciate John that because Karen did not say. Now we repeated this story, and Karen did not say either time that you said no. She said you said, "Okay, I don't know anything about a camera," but you still you
Right.
you
Right. I
you
figured
went
it out.
along. Yeah. Okay. I
Well, I
love
also had help figuring it out. The people that I know, a good friend of mine named Ace Reed.
Brother Reed, yes.
I took it to him, and he said, "What's that mic sitting right there?"
Right, you can see the mic, and the mic was. Yeah.
Well, how come it's so dark?
Right. Yeah.
So I was ready for the criticism.
Absolutely.
Constructive criticism,
Absolutely.
and it just made things better for me.
You know what? Because I hate to call it criticism, because when you as creatives as we all are, when you have it in your mind, when you have it in your spirit, and there's something that you are trying to do, it's all helping you to do better and to get better. So it's all assistance. It's all we appreciate the assistance. You help me, please help me to help me. Because I too
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Yes, tell me. Wait, what is it now? What is it? Let me fix that because I want to do better. So
Yes.
I love that too. I love that. Now I want to talk about because Karen, I know you were involved in production as well. I know you were an actress, but in production as well. So did you
Yes.
two work on projects together? Did you?
Other than Celebrities in the Basement?
Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the theater productions that I did, John was right there as the sound man or the DP, director of photography. We worked together in different productions together.
What's that like working together?
I'm the boss. And he always say,
Oh,
wait, and then he'll say, no, then he'll say, you're not the boss of me. And then our daughter is also working in production, and she's like, mom is so bossy. She's always so boss. She's the boss. She's going to be the boss. And then John just the other day, today, this morning, well, I don't even know what we were talking about. And what did you say?
Not the boss of me.
But deep down inside, he knows who the boss is. I'm a boss lady.
I'm learning because I like to ask some couples which of the two of you holds the other accountable, but it's usually the woman because the man usually says, well, she's the one that she kind of I listen to her.
But
Would
it's
you guys say the same thing?
50-50 because when you say accountable, it depends on the situation. When it comes to health and exercise, oh no, you're not laying there. Let's go walk. That's him telling me, get up, let's go walk. So that helps me. He helps me he motivates me in that aspect. And therefore I can motivate other people to do the same. And so it depends on the situation. We kind of pull each other.
Yeah.
I love that. So you say the star works with you guys as
Yes.
well. Now, how did that come about? Did you pull her in, or did she just come along as a willing
Well,
participant?
she wrote, and actually her and John together wrote the theme song, and she sings or raps our theme song. But she was my makeup artist, my hair, and she was my stylist. Basically, was her job when we first started. Yeah. So
I never knew that. I never knew that. Wait, okay. Family members, for those of you who are just tuning in, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. And we are talking with none other than John and Karen Martin. The Martins are sharing with us about the empire that they've built. They're sharing with us about, they've shared their love story. John said, listen, once she got on my bike, that was it. That was it. That's all she wrote. and then he says, too, you're not the boss to me. But then he says, but she is the boss. So we get We get what we get what's going on here, and now I'm just learning. Okay, that your daughter, okay, I know so little about Star. So little about Star, and you've just explained to me Star was your entire stylist when you all began. Star has worked with you guys with production, so it is your whole family. All of you are phenomenally talented, but how could Star not be? Because she came from the two of you, quite honestly. But so the three of you, do the three of you still work together on projects?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. What was the last project we all were on? Oh, the Road to Truth. Star, you and Star came in as production. I was the executive producer. I also no, I wasn't the executive producer of that. I was the director of that particular film, and Star and John both were in production. And Star, at one point kind of disappeared. As teens or young adults do, have the kind of they think they want to find their own way, but then they find their way back. And so she found her way back, but still was always in the art. She was always, acting, dancing, and in the fashion as well, makeup and hair. And so yeah, she's always kind of been there. Always kind of been there. And
It
now
sounds
we're grooming her son in the arts. So he's a little actor, Skylar. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. See this? See this?
He's getting more jobs than I get. I'm like, and it's his age, people need a 10, 11-year-old. And so he fits the profile, the character.
And he says that learning his lines is his superpower.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, no, let me tell you how that is a superpower because I can't seem to remember anything these days. That is a superpower. Once you master that.
Pretty quick with it.
Yes.
You say that again?
He's pretty quick with it, learning his lines.
And he enjoys it.
Yes.
Which is the beauty in it all, too. As you know, well, that's with anything, quite honestly, with anything that you do. But when you enjoy what you do, it just makes it that much better.
Absolutely. It makes it easy.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it
yes.
makes it look easy. Put it that way.
So you guys, I admire that you work together, but you not only have your own empire, but you work together in so many different facets of the entertainment industry. And yet you maintain your bond. You maintain who you are to one another, at home and outside of the house, which I feel is a tremendous blessing. What would you say to young couples? What would you say to aspiring couples who aspire for the longevity that you two have? What advice would you give them?
Don't let other people in. What I mean is, don't involve other people in your personal relationship. Yes, relationships go through trials and tribulations, but it's not Rashida's business, or it's not Stanley's business to know what's going on in the inter workings of our relationship. Right?
Yes.
While you're in the relationship,
because most of the time, outside interference causes more problems than necessary. That outside interference in, most of the time they want to break you up anyway. If you don't let them in, then they can't. They can disrupt what you and your wife are doing. Or your wife and your wife relationship with you. You know what I mean? Don't want that outside interference. It's like crabs in the barrel.
Yes. And you have to have a spiritual connection. You really have to have a spiritual, spiritual connection with God is like number one. If he's not God fearing and you are, it's going to be a problem, or vice versa. You have to find someone that has that same belief and strong feeling for God as you do.
What they call equally yoked. That's to what you're referring, being equally yoked.
Yes.
Family, we're going to take a break. Stay with us though, because we'll be right back.
Word on Jobs. A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Hey family, I'm Carol Riddick.
And I'm Donavan West, and we're the hosts of Love and Life, a new show about,
well, love and life.
This show is an informative, entertaining, and refreshing take on the hard conversations about love and life.
Each day, we'll provide real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual, and committed relationships.
These late-night conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness.
So join us Sunday night through Thursday night at midnight on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Independent Black Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're in the final stretch of tonight's episode. I'm so sorry to say that, but but I have enjoyed our time. I'm enjoying our time together. I want to remind you once again, though, that you can email us if you so feel inclined to do so. And you can do so by emailing love and life at wordradio.com. That's love and life at WURDradio.com. We'd love to hear from you. And we're enjoying the emails that we've received thus far. Well, because when we respond, we tell you. We tell you that. So we've been talking with our guests tonight, John and Karen Martin, the Martins, and they've been sharing with us about, I mean, just everything about love and life and everything in between. I would like to know what is next for you guys.
We're going to be moving into a production company space, an actual building. That is, I would say, our next venture, and which you'll be able to do a podcast there. You'll be able to come into our space, rent the space, do your film production, TV production, music videos, podcasts, have rehearsals there, stage readings. It's just unlimited what our business plan has in store.
And the blessing, because that's a huge blessing.
Yes.
Will it be in Philadelphia?
It will be right outside of Philadelphia, right on the borderline of Philadelphia. Yes.
Okay. Can you share with us your socials? I neglected to ask this earlier. Can you please, because I want our family members to know where they can find you.
Okay. For me, I would say, there's thousands of Karen Martins, hundreds of Karen Wallers, but there's only one Karen Waller Martin, and I'm Googleable. So I'm on all social media. I'm pretty much Karen Waller Martin. On IG especially, I'm Karen _Waller _Martin. I did have another IG page, but it got hacked, and so I don't want people to go to that old hacked page. It's Karen _Waller _Martin.
And would you spell Waller for us, please?
Yes. WALLER Martin. KAREN WALLER MARTIN. And that's all social media. I use Waller is my maiden name, I guess you.
I want to make sure we know. I want to make sure everybody knows.
Yes.
So when we look for you, will we also find the Celebrities in the Basement episodes? Like, can we see the archives? Can we as well?
Absolutely. Or you can go to YouTube to find archives, as well as phillycam.com. You can find archives there. .org. phillycam.org. Yes.
Did you hear that, family? phillycam.org. You can see all of the archives for Celebrities in the Basement. I am excited for you with the new venture, I call it. And yes, it's an extravaganza. I love an extravaganza. And it sounds like, I mean, oh my goodness, you must be in the planning phase of trying to get everything to. Whew.
It's I guess we can call it the pre-production stage. And everyone will, of course, be invited to the grand opening when that happens.
How does that feel?
Overwhelming, and it's been a blessing. It's called manifestation. We've been, manifesting on this and praying about it, and what shall be. And like I said, what you think about, you bring about. So
that is so true, so true. Now, John, we've talked. You said you went from you were a welder, you worked for SEPTA, but you do still play, right? You do.
Oh yes.
Okay, because I know we talked about playing together, but
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know, because there's the woman sitting next to you, this powerhouse of which you know and are aware. Okay, you guys have this empire that you have built. What, when you look at her now, what do you see? What makes you what do you see when you look at this woman now as opposed to that young woman that you saw in that yogurt shop?
Well, I see her. She's mature. Matured a whole lot, and she's learned a whole lot since then. Um, and sometimes I have to calm her down because she wants to do too much. You know, she's moving too fast. Slow down, baby. You got time. You got time. Just relax. But and I just love her. She's my best friend. My best friend, and I wouldn't trade her in for the world.
I hope not. I love it. I want to ask you the same question because you saw this young man when he walked into the yogurt shop. What do you see when you look at this man now? This man that he has become.
Kind, generous, so patient, and like you said, he's the calm of my storm. We're total opposites, and this is what it means when it said opposites do attract. And he's the calm. He keeps we level each other out because where I'm the hype and outgoing, he's the calm and the laid back. And sometimes people take that as if he's unhappy or sad or mean because he just sits back and observes where I jump in, if that makes any sense. Sometimes he has to pull me back like, no, let's just sit back and relax on this one. So yeah.
But I love that. That's what you call yin and yang. That's what and you even said it before we went to the last commercial break. You're evenly yoked.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. You're talking about, you're rooted in faith. You guys identified each other's love languages early on, and you've been navigating that and from the optics that I have, you've been navigating it very well. And I just love number one. I love love, but I'm so happy to spotlight your love because I think I just think it's beautiful. I think the two of you are beautiful. And again, I'm just grateful that you're sharing some time, energy, and attention with us. Family, I hate this time in the program, because I could talk to y'all all day, all night.
Yes, and we thought, 2 hours, that's too long. We're so boring. We got so much more. Too.
See, I see it. And you know what? I welcome that. We're going to have you back. But and then, family, my WURD family, that wraps up tonight's episode of Love and Life on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media. I want to extend my utmost gratitude for you, to you, for spending some time with us. I love your company, and your attention is always welcome and appreciated. Always, always, always. Thank you to the entire WURD family and to my alternating co-host, Donavan West, and a special thank you to our guests tonight, John and Karen Martin. Family, I want you to have a great night. You hear me? You have a great morning, and you have a great rest of your day. But remember, we are all in this together. You hear me? So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Make sure you join us at midnight for another episode of Love and Life on WURD. Take care, y'all.
If they
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.